Welcome to the Serenade of the Seas in June of 2023. Hey everyone, I'm Patrick from Oakland Travel. We just wrapped up the stateroom tour that we did in the previous vlog episode, and now we're heading down to deck number 5 to go out to the helipad just to kind of check it out and, kind of one of those why not type of things. And as we come down here to deck number 5, you see everybody kind of hanging out by the elevator because these little tiny elevators, there's only a few of them on the front part of the ship here, and so that you do see that from time to time where there's a little bit of a backup just getting into the elevators. But terminal number 3 right here straight in front of us at Tampa, you see some people still coming on board the ship. This was probably every bit at 2:30 in the afternoon. So some of the latecomers onto the ship, I think you can get on board all the way up until about an hour before departure, which for our particular cruise, I think the departure was at 4:30 maybe. And so all the way up till maybe about 3:30, you could still board the ship, which is pretty late. But if you do one of those things where you try to fly into the embarkation port on the day of the cruise, which is never advised, by the way, I've read all kinds of horror stories online about that. You could be one of those people that's like trying to get to the cruise terminal at the last minute to get on board the ship while they'll still let you on board. So a lot of people, different reasons for getting there so late. But here it is, middle of the day, hot Florida sun, June of 2023. Got to have that sunblock and that sun hat on because it gets really hot up here. As you can see, nobody's on the helipad because it's too early. There's still a couple hours before the ship leaves. So we just came up here for a minute just to kind of check it out. And you see some of the crew members back there kind of hanging out in their little area that's specifically for them. And so the commercial industrial port of Tampa, it's not much to look at. It's not very scenic, but, it's not far from the Tampa airport. We live in Orlando, and it's not far away from that. Just a quick little trip down I-4. It is limited in the size of ships that can go out of here because of the way that the Tampa Bay works and the bridge you have to go under in order to get out to the Gulf of Mexico and so forth. There you see the grandeur of the seas. And what I'm pointing at right there is a hotel in downtown Tampa that actually has the PTZ live cam, the live camera. It's on top of that hotel, and it sort of looks down that channel. So where the grandeur of the seas is over there, the camera has a much better angle of that spot where a ship is docked. Where we are kind of around to the side, if you were to have pulled up the camera and we were over here at that time, or just whenever there's a ship over here at Terminal 3, you don't see it quite as well. But that's what I was pointing at, was the hotel in downtown Tampa. This little ship in between us and the grandeur of the seas, I never could figure out what that was. It sort of has some military markings on it, but it didn't quite make sense in terms of the structure of the ship, like what it was for. But downtown Tampa, only the first time we've ever really gone out of Tampa. I did one other cruise out of Tampa many, many years ago, and I don't even really remember it, and it was the first time for my wife. So for all intents and purposes for us, this was our first cruise out of Tampa. But we had a good time. And the summer is a good time to go cruising, technically in the hurricane season as it starts June 1st. But, usually hurricanes happen later in the season. So all in all, a pretty good time. School was still out, so there were a lot of kids on our cruise. But, everybody had a good time.